Bedford, your one-stop shop for everything Universal Studios coming to the UK. Today we have a construction update for you. I was on the site on the 14th of August 2025 and there was an awful lot of activity going on. Before we cut to that incredible activity, I just want to tell you about the construction updates that we have here regularly on the channel. We post YouTube shorts as well as other things, reels and TikToks, and we do a deep dive on all of the planning application documents. You're not going to want to miss that. And that's not including Thursdays, 7 p.m. Universally Bedford live. This is something you're not going to want to miss. It's a lot of fun. The audience is growing, the community is building, and it's becoming a absolute blast. So I can't wait to see you there. But let's first of all check in with the site. Here we go. So, site spotlight time. And we are now flying over the site. Here's the drone footage from the 14th of August. So here we are. This is at the Stuartby end of the site. And you can see here we got the kind of the depot. This is where a lot of the equipment is stored overnight when it's not being used. And we can see here we've got a handful of cars. We've got a couple of containers which are probably there for the welfare of the people who are working on the site, and a couple of drilling rigs you can see there that are packed away. Now obviously these drilling rigs, we have seen them in operation most recently on the A421 slip road part of the site, the Western Gateway zone. But here we are on the core zone of the Universal Studios UK site, and we're going to zoom over towards where there is some rather interesting activity going on. If we zoom over here, you might be able to see a white van in the center of the picture, and just to the right of that white van is an excavator. Now that excavator is digging a trial pit. Now what is a trial pit? A trial pit is a big hole in the ground. It is kind of what it says on the tin. It's digging the ground to see how the ground reacts. Where does the groundwater lay? How deep does it go? How stable is the soil? Now obviously, if you're familiar with the local area and the history of the site, you'll know that the ground here is almost entirely clay, and that is why they built so many brickworks around this area. Now a lot of those brickworks, all of the brickworks in fact, have now closed, and a lot of the lakes that you see in the area are some of the old pits that they would dig the clay out of to make the bricks. Now this trial pit, we'll come back to that one a bit later, but now we're scooting over the site again, and we're currently flying over what would be the lagoon in the concept art that we've all seen by now. We're flying now towards the lake zone. So if you can see that border, that horizontal border of trees there, that is Manor Road, and the concrete slab just on the other side of it, that's going to be where the construction village is in the short term while the construction takes place. But once the park is operational, that will be where the utilities are. So what utilities? We know that there's going to be energy storage and energy generation, probably solar panels. We know that obviously we're going to need water and sewage facilities on the site, as well as refuse facilities and collection. And of course, a facility like this needs maintenance, so that will also be going on there too. Now if you look in the center of your picture, now you'll be able to see those warehouses. Those warehouses are where the A421 slip road will be, and it will curve round into that field that we can see in that middle strip of the screen right there. Now as we scoot across and get a little bit closer to where that Western Gateway zone is, you'll be able to see a little bit more activity. Now we can see, if you look very carefully now, a white van just off to the left. Now moving into the center of the picture, a white van with a drilling rig just attached to the rear. Now we're going to get close as we can but we don't want to get too close. Obviously, these people there, they're working, they've got a job to do. So we're not going to disrupt them or be a bother because, well, we want this project to proceed without a hitch. So we're going to just have a quick look here. Now, obviously, these boring sites here are all about where they're going to be building the roads, the roundabouts, the facilities on the site. The Western Gateway Zone is going to see 60% of all visitors pass through it. 60% of the visitors to the resort are going to come by car, and all of those are going to come through a dedicated slip road on the A421. Now, there has been a lot of discourse recently online and in the media about the traffic. I want you to let me know in the comments what you think. Is the traffic going to be a big issue, or are the plans that Universal have submitted enough? If you want to know a little bit more about those plans, then make sure you're subscribed and you check out our deep dive videos into the planning documents. It's a work in progress. We are part way through and we're continuing to add new videos every day or two, which dig into each of those documents but give you really the highlights, because some of them are exhaustively long. So let's scoot back over now to the core zone, back into the theme park and resort. Now, this is one of the largest parts of the site, and this is going to be the part of the site that most of us are going to enjoy spending a lot of time. So if we scoot back over here, we can see the excavator. He's still digging away, but we can get a little bit closer here. And we can see that just behind that van, a trial pit is being dug. Now, obviously, we've not been able to do any digging or any exploratory work in this form for quite some time, because this field recently has been growing crops, and you can see actually some of the bales of hay or straw that have been stacked up there, because only in the last week or two has this field been harvested. But you can see there the excavator working away, digging those pits, and it will be very, very interesting over the coming weeks to see where those pits crop up. We will be keeping an eye on that for you, so you're going to want to make sure that you are subscribed and following all of the updates so you can be some of the first to know. Right, we're scooting back now towards the perimeter. So right here is probably the edge of the lagoon, and as we go a little bit further away, that's going to be the kind of the main boulevard that leads to the gates. Beyond the gates, that's going to be where the City Walk retail and entertainment district is going to be. That's going to be open to everyone, whether you've got a ticket to the park or not. And the hotel will be just off to the right of the picture there. We're going to probably see a car park on the far end, and then of course beyond the boundary of the site there we have Broadmead Road and the village of Stewartby. So that's a little quick update on the site. Now I want to show you something very special, something that I've been working on in the background, and it's going to be an amazing bit of content that's going to drop here on the channel within the next couple of weeks. I know I've mentioned that you should subscribe, but really you're going to want to for this particular video. It's going to chronicle the entire journey. How on earth Universal Studios came to the decision to build a world-class theme park in Bedford. And we're going to start by getting into our time machine and going all the way back to 1915, where the story begins. But I'm going to just tease you with that, and with this little teaser of the content to come. It's kind of ridiculous, but that's what we're here for. We're always looking to see how we can push things further and faster than ever before. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I can't wait to share more updates with you soon. Take care until then.